road to Zagreb. Countryside here is really beautiful. Inland Croatia is a lot different from coastal Croatia. Everything's very green and lush here. Sort of reminds us of home in places, but very, very beautiful. One of the difficulties of motorhoming in Croatia is that it's illegal to wild camp and the police will move you on if they find you. So we've stayed in campsites for almost the whole time, with the exception of a couple of restaurant stops. But we did find on Park for Night this awesome little place, which is kind of a cross between a campsite and a motorhome area. It's a family run place. They've essentially turned their front yard into an area for motorhomes. It's got this cute little almost clubhouse type place where I'm sitting. Behind me you've got the chickens and the geese. They actually own a bit of a vineyard up the hill as well, and it's got the most awesome shower.
This is my kind of shower. Solar powered. I think this comes across. I guess later on we'll find out how well it works.
Beautiful morning here just out of Zagreb. We are waiting to catch the bus. Should be here hopefully in about 20 minutes, and then we've got a nice half-hour ride into the city, and we've got a few things lined up. We don't know a lot about Zagreb, but there is one museum in particular that I'd really like to see, so we'll see how that goes.
And I've got a little mission of my own. It seems that I've had a niggly tooth the last couple of days, and my theory was it'll go away, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. So we're going to keep an eye out for a dentist somewhere in Zagreb.
So we'd heard mixed reports about Zagreb, and as we took the tram into town we still weren't quite sure what to expect, but when we got into the centre of it, it had a real heart of gold. It's got quite a thriving cafe culture, it's got some beautiful buildings, and even though it's a capital city, it's not a huge place. I think it has a population of maybe 800,000, so it's not enormous, and there weren't a lot of crowds, so we really enjoyed it. Croatia has quite a varied history, from being part of Yugoslavia before it's now Croatia, and even earlier than that, part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, as you can see from some of the buildings around here, and also the tiles on the church behind me, something we haven't seen before. This museum's a little bit different. It's the Museum of Broken Relationships. It originally started as an art project or an exhibition, and it's morphed into this museum over the last 12 years. Basically, people have donated things and little stories about their relationships that have broken up, and it's not just romantic relationships, it's familial ones as well, so parents and children, that kind of thing. Really interesting things to look at. So this one, for example, is called The Pharmaceutical Bulb, and it says a business relationship turned into a love affair, both went bust. This is one of the more dramatic exhibitions. It's called an ex-ex, and it's someone who chopped up his girlfriend's furniture when she left the apartment and just gave it back to her in little piles of trash. Some of the exhibits here are really funny, but some are actually quite sad and moving as well. So there's a postcard behind me from a woman who in 1967 in Armenia was proposed to by her neighbour, but her parents refused, saying he wasn't good enough, and then he drove himself off a cliff the next day. So there's some interesting ones in here about people and unrequited love and all sorts of things. Also noticed Neil having a quick flick through here, so I'm not sure what he's got planned.
So after visiting that museum with Renee yesterday, I've given it a bit of thought. What would we send in if we had a broken relationship? And I think the sat-nav would be the perfect item to send. And any sad tales all seem to come back to the use or misuse of this little device.
So where have you just been, Neil?
Well, I've just been to see the emergency dentist. I've got a bit of a pain up here and it doesn't go away. I've tried that treatment, it's no good. And I met some very nice dentists who poked and prodded and said yes, there's something wrong, but now I have to go across town to get an x-ray, and then possibly I have to come back for them to do whatever they want to do. So, x-ray time. Right, I've got my x-ray, went back to see my dentist. She had a look at the x-ray, said there was nothing serious and that I should pull myself together and get on with it, and if it gets any worse I can bother some dentist further down the track. So I'll take her advice and we'll carry on up the road to Budapest. To leave Croatia. We've got a handful of coins of Croatian kuna and we're trying to get exactly 25 kuna of diesel. So we've spent the last of our kuna. That's it for Croatia. We had a great time. Wish we could have seen more, especially down south, but time doesn't allow. And now we're off to Hungary.